Anger, a primal force, as old as humanity itself. It courses through our veins, a visceral response to perceived threats and injustices. In the blink of an eye, this potent emotion can hijack our brains, leaving us impulsive, irrational, and prone to actions we later regret. Beyond the immediate emotional turmoil, anger exacts a heavy toll on our cognitive functions. Like a raging fire, it consumes our ability to think clearly, reason logically, and make sound judgments. Join us as we embark on a journey to unravel the mysteries of anger and empower ourselves to live with greater emotional intelligence. Anger triggers a cascade of physiological and psychological changes within us. The sympathetic nervous system kicks into gear, releasing hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, preparing us to confront the perceived threat. The amygdala, our brain's emotional processing center, becomes highly activated, interpreting the situation as a threat. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thought, takes a back seat, its ability to regulate our emotions compromised. This shift in brain activity explains why anger often leads to impulsive, irrational behavior. Understanding these physiological changes is crucial to recognizing the warning signs of anger and developing effective coping mechanisms. By understanding the interplay between our emotions and our brains, we can develop strategies to manage anger effectively. Deep within the temporal lobes of our brain lies the amygdala, a small, almond-shaped structure that plays a pivotal role in processing emotions. When we encounter a situation that triggers anger, the amygdala springs into action, interpreting it as a threat. This triggers a surge of hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, preparing our bodies to confront the perceived danger. Heart rate and blood pressure spike, muscles tense, and our focus narrows, all geared towards immediate action. When the amygdala perceives a threat, it can hijack our rational brain, overriding the prefrontal cortex's ability to think clearly. This amygdala hijack explains why we may act impulsively or aggressively when overwhelmed by anger. Understanding the amygdala's role in anger is crucial to developing strategies to manage our emotions. Nestled deep within the brain's temporal lobes alongside the amygdala lies the hippocampus, responsible for forming and retrieving memories. However, the hippocampus is particularly vulnerable to the detrimental effects of stress and strong emotions, including anger. When we experience anger, the surge of stress hormones, particularly cortisol, can disrupt the hippocampus's delicate functioning. High levels of cortisol interfere with the hippocampus's ability to encode and retrieve memories, leading to forgetfulness and impaired learning. This explains why, in the heat of the moment, we may struggle to recall important information or make rational decisions. Chronic anger can have long-term consequences for hippocampal health, potentially leading to shrinkage of this vital brain region. Protecting the hippocampus from the damaging effects of anger is crucial for maintaining cognitive function and preserving our precious memories. Sitting at the forefront of our brains, just behind the forehead, lies the prefrontal cortex, the seat of our higher cognitive functions. However, when anger takes hold, the prefrontal cortex can become overwhelmed, its ability to rein in our impulses compromised by the amygdala's heightened activity. As the amygdala sounds the alarm, diverting resources to prepare for fight or flight, the prefrontal cortex receives less blood flow and oxygen, hindering its ability to function optimally. Our ability to think clearly, weigh consequences, and make rational decisions is impaired, leaving us vulnerable to acting on our emotions. This prefrontal cortex offline phenomenon explains why anger often leads to impulsive, reckless behavior and poor decision-making. Learning to strengthen the prefrontal cortex's ability to regulate our emotions is crucial for making sound choices and maintaining healthy relationships. By cultivating emotional intelligence and developing effective coping mechanisms, we can empower our prefrontal cortex to regain control. Creativity flourishes in an environment of mental clarity, focus, and emotional well-being. However, when anger takes hold, it casts a long shadow over our creative faculties, stifling our ability to think divergently and make novel connections. The surge of stress hormones associated with anger disrupts the delicate balance of neurochemicals essential for creativity to thrive. Cortisol can interfere with the prefrontal cortex's ability to engage in flexible, abstract thinking, hindering our ability to see beyond the immediate problem. Anger narrows our focus, making it difficult to see the bigger picture and embrace alternative perspectives. To rekindle our creative spark, we must learn to manage anger effectively, creating space for calmness and clarity. While occasional anger is a normal part of the human experience, chronic, uncontrolled anger can have lasting consequences for our brain health. Repeated exposure to the physiological and neurological changes associated with anger takes a toll on our brains, potentially leading to structural and functional alterations. Over time, the constant flood of stress hormones like cortisol can damage brain cells, particularly in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex. Chronic anger has been linked to a higher risk of developing cognitive decline, dementia, and neurodegenerative diseases. Persistent anger can lead to changes in brain wiring, strengthening neural pathways associated with negativity and aggression. Breaking free from the grip of chronic anger requires a multifaceted approach that addresses both the physiological and psychological roots of this destructive emotion. Learning to manage anger effectively is essential for protecting our brain health and preserving our relationships. By developing a toolbox of coping mechanisms and cultivating emotional intelligence, we can learn to navigate anger's choppy waters with greater skill. One of the most effective ways to manage anger is to interrupt the physiological response before it escalates. By recognizing the early warning signs of anger, such as muscle tension, increased heart rate, or racing thoughts, we can take steps to calm our bodies and minds. Taking a few deep breaths, engaging in physical activity, or simply removing ourselves from the triggering situation can help to short-circuit the stress response. Remember, we have the power to choose how we respond to anger-provoking situations. In the heat of the moment, when anger threatens to consume us, one of the simplest yet most effective techniques for regaining control is deep breathing. Deep breathing exercises help to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, counteracting the physiological effects of anger and restoring a sense of calm. When we breathe deeply, filling our lungs with oxygen and slowly exhaling, we send a message to our brains that the perceived threat is diminishing. This helps to slow our heart rate, lower blood pressure, and reduce muscle tension. To practice deep breathing, find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose, allowing your abdomen to expand. Hold your breath for a few seconds, then exhale slowly and completely through your mouth. Deep breathing is a powerful tool that we can access anytime, anywhere, to regain control of our emotions. Meditation, an ancient practice rooted in mindfulness and self-awareness, offers a profound path to taming the tempest of anger and cultivating inner peace. By training our minds to focus on the present moment, without judgment, meditation helps us develop a greater understanding of our emotions, thoughts, and bodily sensations. Regular meditation practice has been shown to reduce activity in the amygdala while strengthening the prefrontal cortex's ability to regulate emotions. This shift in brain activity allows us to observe our anger without being swept away by its intensity. Mindfulness meditation involves paying attention to our breath, thoughts, and bodily sensations without judgment, cultivating a sense of presence and acceptance. By incorporating meditation into our daily lives, we embark on a journey of self-discovery, learning to observe our thoughts and emotions with greater clarity. While self-help strategies like deep breathing and meditation can be incredibly effective for managing anger, there are times when seeking professional help is necessary. If anger is causing significant distress, interfering with your relationships, work, or quality of life, it's essential to reach out for support. A qualified mental health professional can provide a safe and supportive space to explore the root causes of your anger and develop personalized coping mechanisms. Therapy can provide you with valuable tools and insights to understand the underlying triggers of your anger and develop healthier communication skills. By taking this courageous step, you're investing in your mental well-being and paving the way for a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life.